Well, let's read these comments. It's not at work. Righto. Yeah, it's been a while. Last video that I done, I had to delete due to dickheads, basically. I lifted a car up with a forklift, got underneath, undone some stuff, and there were tears. And to be honest, drives me mental. But anyway, I wasn't sure whether I was even going to bother anymore, to be completely honest. The comments, I don't care. Like, I don't care too much. I'll address this quickly and I'll move on, right? People that send me comments to say, oh, you know, you haven't put a video up for ages, your channel's gone to shit. You got to understand, I do what I enjoy, okay? Which is buy cars, work on cars. If they get finished, they get finished. If they don't, they don't. I drive a tow truck 12, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. I like it. I enjoy it. I enjoy working on my cars. I don't enjoy entitled people that they wouldn't say it to my face. You wouldn't walk up to me and say these things that you write in comments. Like, come on, get it together. Have a think about it. Like, YouTube is not my job. YouTube is not where I make a living. YouTube is something I share my cars. I'm very fortunate that I've had the opportunities to work hard, buy cars and have cars, right? But none of it was given to me, okay? I've worked hard to do all of it. I've sacrificed, my family has sacrificed in order able for me to be able to enjoy my cars. So, you know, like, and then to get comments, I put a post up on the Facebook page the other day of one dickhead that sent a comment. And it's just ridiculous. It just drives me mental. It just makes me think, why do I bother? But then, on the other hand, there's a fair few of you guys that have messaged me and said, you know, is there any more videos coming? And you guys are awesome, okay? And that's why I'm here now, is for you guys that are actually just interested in the cars. You're not interested in the carry-on and all the rest of it. And you are awesome. I've met a lot of really nice people doing YouTube, but there's just so many dickheads too that it becomes very disheartening, and you wonder why you actually bother, you know, because it takes a lot of my time and time's limited. But anyway, in saying that, we'll see how we go. All right. Anyway, okay. Hardtop. We'll start here. There's a lot has happened since I've posted last, guys. Okay, heaps has happened. So we'll start with the hardtop. Okay, here she is up here on the hoist. So, as you guys know, I have been putting an LS in this thing. Okay, and I've realised why you don't see a lot of engine swaps into Valiants, because it's a headache. It really is an absolute headache. Everything you try to do, something gets in the way. If it's not the cross member, once you've got because I've got engine mounts there and the LS is in, the air conditioning compressor sits there, and a big part of cars in Queensland is air conditioning. Well, it is for me. So I can't fit air conditioning. And then the starter motor's in there now, but then there's no room for the steering. And then in order to put a rack in it, you've either got to make it hang out here, and they reckon you might still get bump stop. Or then I looked at getting another front end from Castlemaine Rod Shop, okay? I've heard two different things about them. Some people say they bolt straight in and they work well, but then at the same time, they're to suit either the Hemi, the V8 Mopar motor, or the 6-cylinder. So I'd still have to modify that front end to run the LS. So, and they're not a cheap front end. And then from there, you're still going to have a lot of pipe clearances issues, because there's no room up there for pipes to run the LS. So at the beginning of last week, I sat down with Leith and I said, look, I'm done with it. Like, I'm over it. I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to sell it and move on and build something else. I can't do what I want to do with it. So I thought about that for a couple of days and then decided, no, it's too good a car to sell. Like, it's not rusty. It's never been rusty. So I rang a mate. Okay, Wayne, you guys would have seen him before on the channel. I got the boat off him. He come and showed us his hardtop, the red hardtop. And the easiest way for me to retain that car is go back to a 265, an auto, and yeah. So I rang him and he had a 265, which is here. And and an auto, okay, which is what I'm going to run, okay. So going, yeah, I'm just going to, this was, being a Mexicana, it was a 6-cylinder car to start with, so it's probably worth more. It's not really about the money to me, it's about the car. But yeah, so I'm going to go back to a 6-cylinder. We're just going to put a cam in it, freshen it up, converter. I ordered wheels for the back, okay. It does have mini tubs in it, which have been done a bit rough, so I'm going to tidy them up. So these are an 8.5-inch wheel with a 3.5 backspace. So if you imagine a 3.5 backspace means from this face here to where it bolts is 3.5 inches, which then gives you the big dish, okay, gives you that like 5-inch dish, okay. That does mean I have to shorten the diff. I'm not going to put a 4-link in it anymore, all that's coming out. I'm going to, the standard diff's on the ground just out there. I can use the True Track center that's in this diff, the one that's in here now, get the diff shortened. So these wheels, I've got tyres coming, a 265 50/15, okay, which will fit in underneath here nicely. And I basically only have to get, there's a spring, see the thing that holds you up is these springs. So they'll have to offset those springs across to fit the big tyres. So when the work tyres turn up, we'll sit them under there, see how far across I've got to move the spring, and then go standard diff. I'm just going to paint the car silver with a black roof. It won't be anywhere near as nice a car as it was going to be if I had have gone down the LS route, but it'll still be a nice car. I'm still going to run air conditioning in it. Yeah, so basically that's where we're, security system going off. Yeah, so basically that's where we're gonna be. And no, I won't be putting a freaking barra in it. Christ, why? Yeah. Okay, what else has been going on? I got this thing. This is a pretty cool car too. It's a Holden Cruise. It's an SRI one. It's actually a turbo one, and it's yeah, black leather, 6-speed auto, beautiful car. Done a head gasket. Because we're so busy here, I have I'm going to be sending some work down. Before Leith come out here to work with me, I had a guy that was doing mechanical work for us. And basically the work, big jobs like that, there's this one, there's an engine swap in another car at the front there, there's a gearbox in a Pajero. Just 1 second, I'll make this turned up. I'll be live on YouTube for about an hour or so, I think.
Oh, yeah, Leith?
No, mate, it's Monday.
You're supposed to give me some parts off, but...
It's
Right.
public holiday today.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Fuck, mate.
See you, mate. Starts whinging. Oh, I didn't tell him it's a public holiday. Yeah, so, yeah. So a lot of this stuff here that we build and sell every day are going to get the heavy mechanical work done down the road. And then, yes, the 265's a Hemi, yes. I said just picked up a VP Formula. Yes. None of them were 5 litres. They were, if it's the SS's were V8s and the Formulas were the 6 cylinders. So I'm not sure what it'd be being a 5 litre unless someone's put a 5 litre into the Formula. But yeah, I'll just read some comments quickly, guys. Watching everyone that's watching like the video. Thank you very much for saying to like the video, mate. Hey, do you still have the SV89 is at home? Yes. I'm hoping to get to it this year, but we'll see how we go with time. Hey, Red, there'd be a carby or fuel injection on the Charger. We're going to run fuel injection, so I'll get a 4-barrel manifold and get one of the either the Holly injection or one of those self-learning EFI injections that bolt on like a carby. That's the sort of EFI we'll run on that thing. All right. Okay, so what else has been going on? The truck. Oh, Christ. Ben, thank you very much, dude. I really appreciate it, man. The truck imploded on me. So this one, I was coming out of Brisbane last Saturday afternoon. I sold that 38 Dodge 2-door I had. I sold that to a bloke down in Caboolture, and it was sort of formulas were also V8s. Okay, all right. Yeah, as I was coming out, I've never seen a V8 formula. Yeah, it had a vibration in it, and it actually snapped the rear leaf springs and destroyed the diff center. So then Monday I had to scramble and try and find a diff. I couldn't buy a diff anywhere. Ended up getting one rebuilt down in Brisbane. Like, drove down to Brisbane. The guy said, "Oh, I'll come back in about an hour," and they actually rebuilt the truck diff for me on the spot. Got it going again. And old Matty Book from down at the parts shop in Brisbane helps me out as well with me parts to get them up here. So the truck was back on the road the next day, which was absolutely awesome. The Skyline, this is going now, running, driving, all happening. I haven't really got time to finish it. I think I'm just going to clean it a little bit and do that black stuff maybe today, get rid of that stuff in the interior. And I'm just, oh, it's locked. And just put this up, get rid of that black stuff in there and just put this up for sale now that it runs and drives. It'll probably be $5.5 grand as it sits, needs tyres and a parcel shelf, but the rest of it's pretty well right. What else has been going on, guys? Oh, how's this? Yesterday, guy come in on Saturday morning and said, "Oh, I've got some old Subarus at home. You know, I just want to get rid of them. Can you come pick them up?" "Yeah, no worries, buddy." So I went and got the first one, which is just another sedan over there. And then I went and picked this one up. This one yesterday afternoon, last thing. And I looked and it's got like, see, they've deleted the door handles on it. Can you see that? Right. And then you push that and they open up. Right. And that's all great. Right. So then yesterday I got it back here and I jumped in the car, right? Yesterday, getting it off the truck, and I'm looking, and this gauge was actually sitting up there, and I've looked and I've gone, oh, it must have been a turbo. And I've looked and gone, pressure, PSI, what's the fuck's that about? And then I've looked here, right, and it's got gauge, PSI gauges here, and then I'm looking, there's switches, and then I pull this out, right, and it's got, oh, it must have airbags in it. Right, so I go, all right, yeah, fair enough, that's pretty cool, but it's a tidy enough car. It must have been some sort of custom. And then I thought, I'll have a quick, see what airbags are in it. So then I look under the front, right, and it's got petters. It's got springs, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's sort of strange, isn't it? It's got petters, and I thought to myself, because there's that that forest I'm going to do for Nicole, and I want some lowered springs for that. Right, so I thought that's pretty cool. At least I only have to buy rears now. Hopefully they're 50mm lowards or something. And then I thought, oh, I better check the boot out. All right, so I opened the boot up. Most of it's inside now, but I opened the boot up, and then in the boot there's all these air lines, right? So there's all air lines running all through the car, right? Then up the back here, there's all airbag actuators. Right, and they're the tops there. See, it's got the airbags in there. Right, I've taken the stuff inside, but then in the boot, these massive air tanks, and brand new other solenoids. The front bags, one of the bags got a hole in it. I'd say that's why they must have taken it out. But all this gear here was in the thing. These were brand new, still in a box. There's the box there, airline. New, they're rear ones, okay, so they're the same as the ones that are in the rear, but they were new in boxes. There's the air tanks, and there's our front airbags. How cool is that? It's amazing. It's amazing what turns up in these cars, guys. I could not believe it. Let's read a couple more comments for you guys. Formulas about. Where's the VNSS Ute? Did you end up finishing it up? No, it's out the back. I get sidetracked on stuff, guys. Honestly, like, I know it annoys everyone, but, okay, how do I explain it? Okay, most YouTube channels, okay, are guys in their mid-20s, okay, they don't have families, and they have one or two cars that they're building, and they might have some sponsorship, or they're building cars for someone else. So the car gets bought, you follow it along and it gets done, okay? I run a towing business and a wrecking yard, okay? And I get a lot of cars that come through. There are a lot of cars that I buy and keep and end up getting built, okay? Like the blown Jags at home, it's done, it drives. I've got a VNSS at home, it runs, it drives. I've got my Ute at home, it runs and drives. The red Jags at home now, it runs and drives, but I'm going to change the motor and then do the turbo. There's any amount of cars that I've got. The Minis at home, it's registered and I drive it around, right? But some of the stuff, I start on it and then it'll need $2 grand's worth of parts. That thing needs a manifold. I bought the converter for it already. We took the front end and that off it. There's another front end to go on it. But once it gets sort of pushed outside, it gets forgotten about. And then one day I'll wake up and go, oh yeah. Or a manifold will turn up. Like if a manifold, it's got a carby on that ute now, right? But if I was flicking through Marketplace today and the right manifold or whatever part turned up for that car at the right money, then I'd go work on it again. Instead of going to spend $1,200 on the manifold I want, it'll come up secondhand for $300. And when you're building as many cars as me, that saving is good. And it doesn't bother, I'm sorry that it bothers you guys that I flick from job to job, but it's just how my life is. Let's just say this isn't your normal YouTube channel. I take you along for the ride of what I'm doing and what I have and what's going on, just for enjoyment, right? It's not too serious. It's not a supercar channel. It's just a bit of fun, guys. It's not, there's no, you guys that get a little bit worked up because I don't finish this or I don't touch that car for 6 months. At the moment, this thing come in and I'm looking forward to it. This thing here, a lot of guys would go, oh, fuck, what do you want that for? But that, I like this, it's cool as. It's got beautiful leather. It's turbo. I'm going to concentrate on this. I'm going to stop working on that for a bit and start playing with this. Like the same as the convertible Astra. That's going now. I've got to take it to get the headlights at the auto electrician because I can't work out what's wrong with that. But it's just a bit of fun, guys. Don't get too serious about it all. Like, enjoy the cars that come through and some of the rarer ones that you get to look at as we work on them, but just enjoy it and don't get too obsessed and carry on because it takes the enjoyment out of it. Honestly, the stupid comments and the stressing about me not finishing this car or you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Please tell me it makes sense because, yeah, anyway. But anyway, yes, the ute is out the back, buddy. It's just here. It's not something I'm going to sell because I do really like this ute and I am looking forward to getting back to it. But when it gets done, I want to have it right. It's here. Still mint. It's all still there. It still runs. It still drives. I've still got wheels for it. I've still got the seats for it. I've got front end for it. I'm just waiting on some engine parts and decide. I actually rang Leith yesterday and said, well, we're going to put a cam in that. What's the go? What do you want to do? And he goes, I want to finish the Valiant. So just leave the bloody ute alone. Let's finish. G'day, buddy. How are you? Yeah, let's just concentrate on the Valiant for now and let's get it done. It drives him mental too, guys. Don't worry. I just can't help that. Like, this thing's just cool as. Look at that. I love it. I sold my motorbike too on Saturday. A guy rang. I didn't even have it for sale, and a guy rang and bought it because that's what happens around here. Sometimes it doesn't get finished, and people buy stuff. I've got a do they make a 265 that was not a Hemi? I don't think so. They were all Hemis. Scored. You should build that Subaru. The Liberty. No, I'd rather do the WRXs out the back. Hey Red, I have a build on the road bike that I'm turning into a dirt bike. I'll be along the project with burnout bike. That'd be something different anyway. Sounds good, Moto Kid. Like the dyno. The dyno's just there. We were actually talking about that the other day. It's still just sitting there, but we just haven't got back to it. Like, I have limited time. I have to spread my time between my family, between work, and between time for me to build my stuff. And sometimes the dyno's not at the top of it. Can I see the LS1 parts you've got? They're not really. Yes, it makes sense because you're not the only one that does that. It's all about budgeting. It is, Seb. It's about affording what you do and juggling things to make it work. Like, if I had one project, yes, you could throw all your money at one time and that at one project, but it's hard when it's just not who I am and it's not the job I do. I buy cars to sell cars, to build cars, to make money because I do it for a living. The guy the other day said one of the message that Wayne Jenkins, I think his name was, something about carrying on about how my YouTube channel's not going to succeed and fucking I'm shit and all this. And it's like, mate, I don't care if my YouTube channel doesn't succeed due to the fact that it's not my job. Like obviously I make a living out of what I do, so I can't be that shit at it. And I've been doing it most of my life. So yeah. Killer Pandas. I understand I go from car to car. I have 4 projects. Yeah, you do. You get sick of the one project, and they give you the shits. Like the Valiant Coupe there, I was going to sell it because just drove me mental. But you need to be able to walk away from it and do something else. I get bored of the other channels where they do the same car week after week. I don't mind the change, the different. Thank you very much, John. I appreciate it, mate. Yeah, it's a Cruise, a 2011 Cruise. It's a turbo one, the SRI model, which is pretty cool. I quite like it. Different content. That's it. It's just different. I do things differently because I'm 13 and I'm fixing old bikes and XC Falcon. You know, like it's the hovercraft. Let's face it, I shouldn't have bought it. I'm the first one to admit that. It does run now, but yeah, but fiberglassing that doesn't really excite me too much. If someone wants to come and fiberglass it for me, that'd be great, because I've just got to fiberglass that and make up the skirts and she'll go, but sort of lost interest, to be completely honest. At the moment, the forklift blew its motor, which is on there. Right, that motor there is out. The four-wheel drive that we were going to use for the HB Tirana had the same motor, but a turbo one. I needed a motor, so that's going in there. It's actually inside at the moment. We've been doing a conversion on it to get the hydraulic pump to work. So, yeah, I feel bad that I haven't been making videos, but you guys can probably understand that it gets a bit disheartening when now I've changed plans on that Valiant. Just the thought of coming on here and having to say, oh, look, I was going to do this, but it's just not practical for me to do that anymore, so I'm going to change my mind and do this. And then you get, oh, you should do this, you should put a barrier in it, you should do that. I put a lot of thought into, what I want to do and the way things sort of have to go and the budget that I have. Barras drive me mental. Did you see the guy on Street Machine? He had an LS in that Miata thing, then an MX-5, and it was a good thing. They drove it, they went to the drag strip and that, pulls the LS out, puts a Barra in it, and blows it up straight away. Like, because Barras are awesome. Like, anyway. What else is going on, guys? What else is going on? I've got that white. I haven't heard from my son-in-law for a while, so I'm wondering whether I'm just going to put my turbo kit on that VL, clean it up and sell it. Yeah, I don't know. Shouldn't have chopped that thing up, but the motor can go in something else. Got the Falcons, that's that XR8 there. I wouldn't mind to actually do that at some stage soon, but limited time, guys, limited time, and what do you do? But I've got airbags now. How good's that? Wonder what they'll be able to go in. But yeah, all right, I'll read a few comments, guys, and I'll show you. I'm actually cleaning up this van at the moment, so any of you guys that are looking for a 6 or 7 seater van, we had one come in this week. It's a pretty cool sort of jigger. I'm going to do this soon, this Valiant. We've put a motor in it already. Put a motor in this already. It's not rusty, and just do a real paint tidy up and put the I think the RT stripes on them, but blend them in so they look sort of rat rodish as well, and turn that into a bit of a cool jigger. Leith doesn't want me to, but yeah, we're going to take the wheels off this wagon today, because that wagon, can you see there's a white, is that going to zoom in? That white wagon just there, it's a factory manual wagon that we got running this week, and it actually runs really well. So factory manual van wagon, put those wheels on. I'm going to start cleaning it today because it'll be for sale very, very soon. This thing here, Grand Voyager, how's this thing? There are the keys, in it. It's so cool, this thing. Yeah, they're in it. Right, watch this. This thing's mad, eh? Like, you can go, like, yeah. How cool is that? See the door on the side? She's a machine. I love it. Just started cleaning the wheels and that on it. Come on. Work for me. Oh yeah, it's locked. Anyway, this door does it as well. But yeah. But it's a pretty cool sort of rig. Started cleaning it up, so yeah, should be cleaned up this over the weekend hopefully, and get it ready to sell. It's only done 180,000 Ks. It's got captain chairs in it. It's a pretty cool rig. See, like, you guys don't see, you know, you say you don't finish projects, but I do actually finish. How cool is that? Love it. Yeah, you guys don't see a lot of the cars that actually get done around here and sold. So, and there'll be a lot more of these coming up now as well, because I've got my mate starting back with us again to do some sellout stuff. There's also this Nissan Teeter. I've got to get a motor for it. This one here that just come in on Saturday. It's not a bad late model thing, and it's in pretty good shape. So I'm going to get a motor fitted to this one. It'll be another one that's for sale soon. It's a little auto. It's actually quite a nice car. Just needs the paint tidy up, get rid of those seat covers, but it's an auto. Really nice in the dash and everything. It's like part leather. So yeah, read a few comments and go from there. Thanks, Calais. I am sort of back. I'll see how the comments go. I think I'm going to hand YouTube over to Jake, teach him how to do, like this Pajero here has just been sold as well. It's gone though. I was supposed to pay for the rest of it before the weekend, but they didn't turn up. But anyway, yeah, hand YouTube over to Jake perhaps, and I just won't read the comments. I'll just, yeah, I'd like to step it up a little bit, the YouTube, and try and get it to a higher level. I'm still going to flip from job to job. There's still going to be cars coming and going quicker than you can even understand. Some days I buy 4 or 5 cars in a day, and then the next day 3 or 4, and then the next day, like, yeah, on an average, I buy minimum 10 cars a week. You guys don't see half of what goes on. Some of them are just shit boxes. Some of them are just wrecks. It's just the way it goes. But you see a bit of what goes on. But if Jake is filming and editing, you never know what he's going to achieve, I suppose. So we'll just have to get him on board. And I just have to ignore those comments. Do what you want, mate. Change plans makes it every stream. I have a couple of projects going on. Always change my mind. Thanks very much, Fast Boy Craig. What's going on? What am I doing with the Bedford van? I think I'm going to sell the Bedford van. I can't see myself getting back to it anytime soon. So I honestly think I'm going to sell it. There's a VN sedan, an auto one out the back there that I'm probably going to sell. It runs and drives. There's another 6-cylinder manual VN at home that I'm probably going to sell. There's that red 300ZX. I'm going to clean that up soon and sell that. There's quite a lot of cars I'm going to get rid of. And yeah, getting money to finish stuff like that ute out the back you guys asked about before. There is a guy buying my VNSS, old SS, that's going to go, but I've got 2 others there that I'm probably going to do a tidy up on, and yeah, it's just time and money, guys. But I do appreciate you guys that are supportive and are not dickheads. Like, I really do appreciate it, to be honest. And if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be standing here right now, because honestly, I was over it. I was done. I don't need it, you know what I mean? And then for those guys to carry on about how unsafe it was with the forklift, like, yes, you shouldn't get underneath a suspended load, but I jumped underneath with a rattle gun, undone a couple of crossmember bolts. Like, come on. But I had to delete the video before some dickhead rings Workplace Health and Safety, has a cry. Next minute, you know, I've got Workplace Health and Safety here carrying on, and my kids don't eat. And that pissed me off, to be completely honest. It really pissed me off. And those guys are going to sit here now and go, oh, well, you shouldn't have got underneath the suspended load and axle stands. Live in the real world. Been doing it a long time. I know what's dangerous and what's not. You can do what you want, Red. Doesn't matter what everyone else wants. I appreciate it, Josh. I will try and do. It's a wrecking yard, not a custom shop. Thanks, Darren. Well, that's exactly it, mate. That is exactly right. When I started doing the towing, right, for me, it was all about finding the cars to build the cars, right? But it's ended up now that my job is towing, and Leith come up here and he needed a job, so that's what the wrecking yard's for, is for him, because it's for him. It's not, I'm never here. I don't have anything to do with the wrecking yard. But it's just ended up that my job has ended up in the truck. I enjoy the truck, don't get me wrong. I love it. I love I say that I'm in the truck 12 for 14 hours a day, which I am, but that's not a complaint. Honestly, I love driving the tow truck. I love going out and helping people with their cars when they're broken down, finding the cars, buying cars. I absolutely love it. I love what I do. Absolutely love it. And I love sharing it too. Like, I hate the thought that I know there's a guy that's got a Bedford van, right? I met him ages ago. I moved a couple of vans for him, and he works at Woolworths. He's a great bloke, awesome dude. But you know, if he can sit down at Smoko and watch some videos of me pissing about with cars and that, because I know that he absolutely loves cars, but his job isn't working with cars, because it's just not. It's just where his cards have fallen. He loves working on his Bedford van and his ute and all the rest of it. I see him in Woolies all the time, and we talk about cars and stuff. But for people like that, that's why I do this. And it annoys me that there's some people out there that are that narrow-minded and that self-obsessed that if I don't put up a free video for them, or I buy a car they don't like, or I put the wrong wheels on, they absolutely hang you. I just don't get it. Be happy for people, dudes. I'm happy for everyone. I want everyone to be happy and to succeed. Doing a 253 to a stage 2 cam. What carby do you think I should run? Just a weekend driver. Okay, 253. I wouldn't go a two barrel carby. A 500 Holly would be perfect for it and the right size. If you can get a 465 Holly, a 4 barrel, if you do want to run a 4 barrel, a 465 Holly would be the perfect carby for a 253. I wouldn't go any larger than a VAC secondary 650 Holly. And even then, that 650 Holly is going to be a bit big. But if you do have to run a 4 barrel, it'd be a lot easier to find a VAC secondary 650 Holly. But I would suggest, if you can afford it, to look into some of the EFI stuff, like the Holly injection and stuff. It's basically, looks like a carby, bolts onto your carby manifold. You put an O2 sensor into your exhaust, okay? And a lot of it is self-tuning. You don't have to go to the dyno or do any of that stuff. It sets its own parameters and does its own thing. You will have to put a fuel pump and stuff in, maybe a return line, depending on the system. If you can afford to run some sort of EFI system, I would go that way. But a 465 Holly would be the pick of the bunch, but there's not a lot of them around. If you're going to run a 2 barrel, a 350 Holly would be fine. A 500 would be good, but no bigger than a 650 VAC secondary. Don't run a double pumper where it just pours fuel in. But yeah. I hope that was helpful, Justin. You're just an average Aussie doing stuff on a limited budget. That's it, dude. Very, very average. That's me, for sure, man. The most average of the average. I understand what you mean. Sometimes I need a break from my projects. Just motivation. That's it. Can't wait to see the ute finished. I'm hanging out for the ute too. My SS50 is broken at the moment too. The center bearing went in it and the clutch slave's been gone for a while. But I need the hoist to do that, and the hardtop's been on it for a while. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'd love to finish all these cars too, guys. Like, I'd love to have them done and going. But I'm enjoying the Mini at the moment. Really enjoying it. It's awesome. It's a mad little car. I took it to Toowoomba the other day. Mia come with me. It's a mad little rig.
The XR6 couldn't catch it around the corner.
Benny was just saying his XR6 couldn't catch me around the corners the other day in the Mini. But the supercharger, we've got that there. That's going to go on that soon because we've driven it now and tested it, and it seems all right. But just finding time to fit that up, because I got a set of. Okay, and I'll just finish reading these comments for you guys. They are bad for heads, and that they are bad. Leslie, are you talking about the cruise that's bad for heads? Yeah. Okay, I bought where is it? Kakabi. Where did I put it? It was in a box. I've fitted up so many security cameras lately. The bloody sensors go off constantly with the wind. I'm still getting the sensors cut up. There down the bottom. This is my carby and blower drawer. This is side draft. This was a blower setup for a Ecotech, I think it was, or a Buick. That there, so that one down there, there's side draft. The Weber, that one there for the Mini. It came in the other day. Bought it off a guy on a Gumtree. Yeah. Yeah. haven't had a chance to look at this one either, guys. It's just been crazy, absolutely insane. I only just moved all this stuff inside yesterday. The big block's still sitting there. We haven't had time to touch that. I'm very excited about my air ride stuff. I've never played with air ride before, so it'll be interesting to see how this all goes together and works. Yeah. I don't know what else has been going on. The Red Jag is at home because of this Corona thing. I thought that we're going to go into lockdown, so I took it home and got this motor out. Right. So this one here is ready to go in. This motor. But I've just got to, once again, I want to use the hoist and bring it over here to use it now because it's not going to shut down. But I want to get this in as well soon. Does anyone know, do they make, you know how you can buy sheet metal rocket covers for like Holden 5 litres? I wouldn't mind buying one for this, if possible, would be good. What else can I show you? I thought there was a bit more going on than this, guys. There's a, I'm going to finish that short wheelbase Rodeo off, RAV off soon as well and sell that. I'm just sort of trying to sell a few and get some money in at the moment, guys. This wagon down the front here, it looks like old mates off Mighty Car Mods. The sensor just went off because I'm walking down the front. If you're wondering what the beeps are. See this one? It looks like old Mighty Car Mods one. You gotta wonder why someone would destroy this car. Like, it's freaking awesome. Like paddle shift, look, it's got the paddles for paddle shift. Yeah, crazy, eh? Ian, if you're watching, is that the centerpiece you were chasing the other day? Yeah. See, I got, instead of rebuilding the dyno motor we were talking about it the other day, this ute here, this little Hilux has the same motor, and I've got a spare one on the back here. But this diff here, because the diff for the Valiant, from what I can work out with that 3.5-inch backspace wheels, I need a diff that's 1350 millimeters long. Those Hilux diffs are 1357 mil, so it'll be what, 3.5 mil each side. So I might be able to run one of them yet. I'm not too sure. I'm just going to get the Valiant going as cheaply as I can and still have it looking right. And in time, update things and that. But yeah, I don't know, guys. We'll have to get Jake on board, get him start editing some videos. I want to do up a bit of an intro and see what we can do. It's yeah, but if you guys see people making stupid bloody comments, just pull them up. Say, "Oh, dude, pull your freaking head in." You know, tell them to go and have a look at the dish on those wheels. Look how good they are. Love it. It's going to be good because these are a 15-inch wheel, so diameter 15 from here to here, and the fronts are a 17, right? So it's going to have that sort of the front runner look, as well as that sort of, see the front wheel, the diameter is a 17, and the rear is a 15, so it's going to look sort of, yeah, I hope it looks good anyway. You can only try. And these are only a front runner. These are only 4.5-inch wide, but with slightly bigger radial tyres, so they steer a bit better. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this thing. It's going to be awesome, even if it is going to be a 6-cylinder. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the update. Look at this thing too. I love it. Leith thinks I'm a weirdo, but it's got a crash here in the guard, but I'll get that paint done. I just love it. Like, it's just a beautiful car. Like, I know I'm hanging to look at the Astra there, and then you look at that, and it just makes it look old. But the interior is really nice in it. It's got a little tear in the seat just here. But I noticed the other night when we were cleaning it, this was all full of hay and all sorts of stuff. It was pretty dirty. We've gone through and given it a good clean up. The hood line is still good in it. The dash is good. You can actually buy, see the dash, the center bit in the dash there. You can buy it, that whole piece there comes out, and you can buy an Android system to go in there with all CarPlay and that. They're about $600, but yeah, driver's seat and all that's still in good shape. So is the passenger. Steering wheel feels nice. Yeah, it doesn't stink of mice in here, which is always a bonus. It had a kid in there, like, look at that back window. So grotty. I cleaned most of it, but I'm gonna have to go back through and do a bit more. But yeah, I don't know, guys. So many cars, so little time. Bought a polisher today too, $50. Look at that. That was on special at Super Cheap. Cordless one. We've got a lot of cars to detail at the moment. The ones that are just for sale around the place. Well, I'm going to get this pressure washer out and start cleaning that manual wagon. Do a bit more on this other wagon. I've got to take this one down to get the head gasket done because he's starting on that tomorrow. We'll go from there, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining in, guys. We've got 84 people on and only 24 likes. So if possible, if you can just hit that like button, that'd be great. I will apologise for whinging through this video about people and their shitty comments. I know that all YouTubers have to put up with it. But do we really have to put up with it? I don't really think there's much need for it. What do you do? Anyway, yeah. See you.